best thing to do is move on. And it's right every time, do what again. The best thing to do is move on. The best thing to do is move on. And the best thing to do is move on.
Well, good morning, Facebook. Good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you're watching this. Oh my goodness, guys. What are we talking about today? We are talking about now November, dating at 50. Wow, I could not wait to get on this camera this morning after the night I had last night. So I just really wanted to share how crazy it is out here dating at 50. For those who do not know, my name is Vita, and let me welcome you to my channel. This channel is called Life Her Way. I am your hostess with the mostest. And on this channel, I am just really trying to live my life as authentically as possible, my way. Again, I'm laughing because I'm really excited to get into what I have to say. But my channel, again, is called Life Her Way. And I ask you to join me as I am learning to love myself more. So let's get into it after that little bit of a commercial. So, my BFF, as the old folks say, bless her heart. So she wanted to connect me with the gentleman that she recently met. She just thought, like, I think you guys would hit it off. And so she asked me if I would be interested. I told her, yeah, no problem. What's wrong with getting to know someone? Nothing. So she gives me his information, and she gives him mine. The first time we had any type of conversation was very brief because I teach on Wednesday nights and he didn't know. So he literally called me right when I was starting my class. I eventually let him know. I would call him once I got out of class. But we didn't actually connect. We didn't really connect until yesterday. So now, mind you, dating at 50 looks a whole lot different. First of all, because I've never been 50, but also because I had recently, me and my ex recently decided to really like open up space for other people. And I would say that happened in July, and although it's a long story behind it, let's just stick with, as of July, I'm definitely opening myself up to other relationships, and I'm entertaining other gentlemen callers. All right. And so one gentleman caller, we're going to call him Do Not Answer. Okay. Do Not Answer. And the other gentleman caller is the one that she wants to introduce me to. So we started talking last night on the phone. And when I tell you, he absolutely let me know that he was 15 years my senior. So I'm like, oh, he's definitely going to be a lot more mature. Why was every other word a curse word? Now, I don't mind anybody cussing. I feel like words are words. People are going to say what they want to say. If you're offended, then don't talk to them. But I don't think that people have the right to say, oh, you can't say this word around me. You can't say, it's a word. It's a word. So I'm not offended by him cussing. I was just taken aback by the fact that that's all he did do. Like, I don't even really remember a lot of sentences that did not start and end, and in the middle was laden with all these swear words, like for no reason you cussing. So that was like, wait a minute, like, you 65 years old, sir? Why in in the world is every other word coming out of your mouth nasty? I mean, when I say F-bomb, P-bomb, D, I did it like this. And how old are we? Where this is your very first conversation with me, and this is how you're speaking. Let me go ahead and preface. I've already told my BFF this story, and she was appalled. She said, I didn't know. That is not how he ever presented himself to me. I apologize. I don't think that my BFF would have introduced me to him if he had showed her his true self. He gave her a representative. So now let's go back. So the whole time I'm talking to him, I just couldn't get over how candidly he was speaking about his ex-wife, who he knew he married was 20 plus years younger than him. He married her when she was 21 and he was in his 40s. And then started telling me all this bullshiggity about how she wasn't this, she didn't do that. And I just basically said, well, sir, you married a child. And you expected her to all of a sudden get married to you and jump into this adult role. And then you gave her 3 babies. And then you said she didn't contribute to the relationship. Sir, she didn't have to. You gave her an environment where she didn't have to until you realized, I don't want to do this all by myself. But now you've provided a lifestyle where she doesn't have to. So I'm paraphrasing our conversation. But when I looked at it, I said, he just kept talking about how he can pull baddies. And he kept calling women, bees. And that bee and these bitches. And I'm, sir, who do you think you're talking to? So when he actually said, can I video call you? I said, yeah. Because I've already seen some pictures. I said, yeah. So he talking about, I dress well. And he said, I know you are a classy lady. I saw your pictures. You are a classy lady. And I'm a classy man. And I, take pride in dressing good and smelling good. And I take care of myself. Oh, okay. So can he video chat? When I tell you, when Paw got on that damn video, what representative did he just send? Because he was giving me the vibe of Fred G. Sanford. I was like, boo-boo. Paw. No! What are we doing here? So all this talk about who you are, what you are, and I now get to see what you're saying. And I just not pictures, because pictures can cover up some stuff and things. So now I'm visually getting to look at you. It looked like somebody said, come here, Paw, come here. And just had his whole t-shirt neckline just all messed up. Like, Paw looked like he smelled like mildew. And I'm not even trying to be funny and just, talk about him. But he spoke of himself with such beautiful words and spoke so ill of his 21, 22, 20 plus year old, I won't call her a junior, but his wife who is 20 plus years younger than him. He spoke so ill of her. And when I finally saw, when I tell you the clearness of it all, the opaqueness of it all, the caucasity of it all, because that's what he was very reminiscent of. And ain't nothing wrong with somebody being light-skinned. But what I didn't like is the negativeness that he spoke of someone. And you 65 years old, and you're now expecting this 45-year-old woman to continue or to change after now you have afforded her a lifestyle. So I listened, and I'm trying not to get all into his business, but I listened to it. And at 50 years old, you 65, she is now in her 40s. You all are now divorced, and you still ain't over it. You're not over it. You thought that you were going to have eye candy for the rest of your life, and it didn't work out that way. And now I feel like this gentleman is jaded, and he needs to be right where he is, which is by himself, until he can figure out, does he really want to be in a relationship? You 65. You'll never have to marry nobody again if you don't want to. There are a whole lot of women who will settle for having male companionship. Hell, I'm not that interested in marriage. Truth of the matter. But I'm saying all this to say, dating at 50 is not for the faint at heart, because the whole time I'm thinking, let's get to know each other, all he wants to do is bash this woman that he decided to marry that was 20 years younger than him. All he wanted to do was say, I know I can still pull baddies. Okay? Baby, go pull them. Because, and then you'll turn around, and when he sees that I'm speaking like I have some sense, well, I was looking for a partner, somebody to build with. No, you were looking for somebody to showcase. And you got that. And you keep saying you can have it again. Go get it. Go get it. So, I'm saying this all to say, I have absolutely no desire to entertain bullshiggity like that. I'm glad that he was his authentic self, because we learned very early on in the conversation, this ain't going anywhere. He's still looking for something, and he's still wrapped up in a life that will never come back. When I tell you, this 65-year-old man only wanted to talk about when he was in school, when he pledged Kappa Alpha Psi, when the Kappas ran the campus, and we are legends. And I'm just like, why are you living some 50 plus years ago? Where you at? You live in, he was telling me how he knew where I lived, the area anyway, not where I live, but the area where I live, because, his fraternity would come there. In 1975, I was 3. And he wanted me, don't you remember? Sir, I don't know. I was 3. Well, I know in 78, okay. 75, 78, that's just 3 more years. I was not young enough. I was not old enough to understand anything that he was trying to reference when he was coming here in the 70s. I'm just saying. Excuse me. Dating at 50, it's not for the faint at heart. But what I will say is, date often and date a variety. Dating doesn't always have to mean physically going out. Get to know people on the phone. Get to know people via video chatting. And I think that you'll find out a whole lot sooner whether or not there's a connection. Because do not answer is exactly where he is. Exactly that name. Do not answer is my age, in my age group. Maybe a year or 2 younger. But do not answer is not a man of his word. Do not answer, to me, is not honest. Do not answer is I can't say he's wasting my time, because when I want to be bothered, I'm bothered. When I don't want to be bothered, I'm not bothered. But do not answer, I believe he thinks that I am something to check off of his bucket list. Do not answer evidently had a hard crush on me in undergrad. and was never ever able to carry it out. How about we didn't talk? We knew of each other, but we never had a conversation outside of speaking. So do not answer is no better than Fred G. Sanford. Just because do not answer is in my age group doesn't mean that he's any more ready than Fred G. Sanford. Him and Paw need to go somewhere and figure out what they want in life. And this is my thing. Like, I'm at the point in my life where I do want to date a plethora of people, and I do want to experience a plethora of people. I'm not interested in just like, okay, I just want to date you exclusively and see where this goes. I was in a long-term relationship. It didn't lead to marriage. And again, like I said, that was my choice just as much as it was the choice of the person I was with. I'm not saying that marriage is for everybody, but I do want to say that relationships and, you know, being involved with whomever you decide to be involved with, I think people like that. People like to be in relationships, but you don't necessarily have to be married in order to be in a relationship. Like, I made sure today I wanted to dress like this. Why? Because I'm like, I was so accustomed to always going out with my ex. Like, I can't remember the last time I just went out by myself. So I'm going to take myself to dinner tonight, and I'm going to catch a movie, and I'm going to take my tail home, and I'm going to be just fine with that. I don't have to worry about what you want to eat. Well, I don't want to eat that. Well, what movie you want to watch? I don't want to watch that. I am going to take myself out on a date and have a funky good time and not have to worry. Because again, being in a relationship is a choice. And so I don't choose to be tied down to any one person. Not right now. Yes, people, oh, you're 50, you need to decide. No, I don't. I don't need to decide anything. I decided when I was in that long-term relationship that I wanted to be tied down. I don't want that now. And you don't have to be. Don't let anybody tell you that just because you're at a certain age that all of a sudden, you know, these life choices must be made. Live your life. Live it out loud and live it authentically. Because you know what? Everybody else doing what they want to do. So why can't you? And I'm done. It's over, 17, almost 18 minutes. So I enjoyed just rehashing this conversation with you all from last night, because all I got to say is have fun in whatever stage you're in, and don't let anybody tell you that at this stage this must be, or this should have occurred, or you should have done this, you should have done that. Be okay with where you are, and then just strive to be a little bit better the next day. If you're not where you want to be, you strive to be a little bit better than where you are. But don't let other people tell you where you need to be at stages in your life. And as I always say, y'all, be the best you that you can be, because you know what? All the others, they're taken. Smooches, y'all. Bye-bye.